And we are very excited to now join by officially the newest member of the Las Vegas Raiders, KJ Wright. And KJ, man, you just came off of your press conference, just met the Las Vegas media for the first time. And one thing that kind of stood out to me is when you were talking, you said, look, man, I've been pissed off the past couple months.
Yeah.
Like, I have not enjoyed my, having to be in this kind of waiting game. So for you, just you as a human being, how challenging was the past couple months just waiting to see where that next opportunity was going to present itself?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating. I've emotional roller coaster is the way I could describe it. When I ended my last season, hell of a season last year, I thought it was gonna be a no-brainer that teams would get me within the first 2 days. That was my mindset. Let's go get KJ Wright. But it was quiet. It was very quiet with the with the salary cap, or teams want to go in another direction or whatever. And so I was definitely frustrated and angry. But that stuff fueled me. I've had stuff my whole career to just fuel me, and the disrespect that I've gotten over the years to just want to go out there and prove people wrong, just prove my supporters right. And so I'm thankful that I'm here, man. The Raiders called me, made it happen. I said, hell yeah, let's go do it. Let's go win some ball games. And I'm excited to be here.
So when you get that call from the Raiders, when that phone answers, and you talk about how being angry and upset, at what point does that anger and upset channel into, all right, it's time to go now? Like, I'm excited. We got a week to go, man. Monday Night Football.
I mean, a little bit leaves, but it really never leaves, because that was 5 months in the offseason?
Yeah.
Like 5-6 months of just, you just feeling this type of way, and you just, your spirits are just not feeling right. And so it feels good when you officially make that deal, like, hey, I'm joining the Raiders, but you never forget about it.
You can't, man, right? You got to remember, and people make fun of me all the time too. Like, I remember the kid in like 6th grade, 7th grade who, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. You got to remember those people, man.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to be healthy about it, right? You can't let it completely overwhelm you. You can never forget the people that said you couldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
But, shifting now to Las Vegas, I mean, why here? What about this situation worked for you? What about the situations you said, hey, I want to come in here and be a part of this program that John and Mike are building?
It only made sense. The first person that actually called me this offseason was Gus. I was where was I? I was sitting on my deck, and I look at my phone and said, Gus Bradley calling. I said, what the world? What does Gus want with me? And so I answered the phone, and Gus was like, hey, KJ, man, see, you're still a free agent. We'd love to have you. And I said, heck yeah, Gus. Loved playing for Gus when I was my first and second year, and watched him over his career. We've always seen each other. It's always love. And just to be a part of this Raider tradition, this Raider family, it's very legendary place to be, and it only made sense to come here.
I'm glad that you picked up when Gus called, too. Like, you can't – I mean, how bad would you feel if you're like, I'm going to let this one go to voice?
Oh, no. As a free agent, seeing any coach call, you answering quickly.
I mean, you talk about your familiarity with Gus and the system and what you're going to be asked to do. But if you kind of just look at the defense as a whole, for a Gus Bradley defense to be successful, what does the linebacker position have to do? What do those guys in the middle really have to accomplish?
I believe, personally, the linebackers got to be the best on the field. We got to be the leaders up front. We got to be the most prepared. We got to be the best tacklers, best blitzers. And I believe that this is my first day here. This team mentally, or this unit mentally wants to be that unit. And so just get to knowing the guys, Nick and Corey, just talking to them and their mentality. These guys want it bad. And so I'm just coming here to just further elevate the group, just further keep us, make sure we're prepared and ready to go. And it's gonna be a solid crew.
It's so funny. You talk about, hey, this is like literally my first day. It's like this is your first day at your new job, so you're still trying to figure out, who's who, what are the expectations. But you look at this linebacking core in general, and you brought up Corey and Nick, and both Nicks, I should say, really, and we feel going into this season, I think the fans here feel much better about this linebacking crew than they did a year ago. I think they feel a lot better today than they did yesterday, now that KJ Wright is in the mix. Yeah. But what has it been like just getting to know these guys? Because you look at the calendar, and all of a sudden, a week from now, Lamar Jackson and the boys are coming to town.
Yeah, well, first thing for me was I wanted to just come in, introduce myself. So I text every linebacker when I first got signed, hey, fellas, excited to meet you guys, want to just come in. So I just want to create a relationship with the guys, just get to know the guys, their families, how they understand football, and then when we step on the field, just how do guys communicate, how do they move, so I could just gel with the guys and just flow and move, and we just move as one. And so everybody's been really open, really communicative, and so I think it's going to be a solid relationship that I have with them.
We're hanging out with the newest Raider, KJ Wright. And KJ, when you look at the linebacker position in general, just as a whole, how has the position changed since you first got into the league?
I think it's been the same. For me, it's simple. Linebackers got to be the best on the field. I know, got the pass rushers, get all the money, the lockdown corners, all that good stuff. But if you watch any good defense in the history of the game, every great defense has a really good linebacker crew. You can't name a defense without a good linebacker crew. And so I pride myself on that. Linebackers got to be the best, the most prepared, the best tacklers. And so if we come out and do our job every single Sunday, every single game day, this defense is going to be successful.
You know, we talked about it a second ago, but a week from tonight, Monday Night Football, the entire NFL world is watching. Week 1 is finally here. I mean, just for you, how challenging is it going to be to get up to speed, to be able? I mean, I guess you have the benefit of knowing Gus's system really well, but I imagine it's about to be a crash course for you over the next 7 days.
I'm going to be living in this building for the next 7 days. Just make sure that I'm dialed in, prepared, know the ins and outs of this defense, because when you step down on the football field, obviously stuff goes fast. Your heart rate's beating. You got Lamar Jackson running all over the place, so you got to really be dialed in mentally. And so the best way to be dialed in is to be prepared, and I'm going to make sure that I'm ready come Monday night.
You talk about Lamar, too. I mean, you're not easing into anything now, right? It's like, hey, we're going to have one of the most explosive, dynamic athletes in the NFL. Go get him, KJ, all right? Let's see you.
Let's go get it. I'll be ready.
Yeah, but I imagine as a competitor, like, that's got to be kind of nice to be like, hey, we're right into this thing. We're not easing our way into anything. It's go time for the next 18 weeks.
And you can't ease into this team. You got to make sure that you own your responsibilities with this option, with his speed. You got to really be dialed into the details, especially with this offense. It's not a methodical, offense that you just run basic plays. This offense presents some stuff, and you got to be on your A game.
We're just wrapping up here with the KJ. And KJ, I appreciate your time, man, but I'll get you out of here on this. You talked about during your press conference a few minutes ago, just the vibes here, the good energy in the building. Is that something as a guy in your position walking in that you can feel, like that's something tangible you can feel?
Yeah, I'm telling you, when I first got in, you felt it. And just talking to a few guys, some guys came from other teams, got released or traded. They was telling me how it was in training camp and how happy they are to be out of their situation and to be here. And so I can't thank God enough for just placing me in this place with great equipment staff, athletic training staff, coaches. It feels really good.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you here, man. So congratulations. Like you said, you got a lot of work to do over the next 7 days. I've taken enough of your time. I really appreciate it.
No
like I said, very, very pleased that you're here. Good luck on Monday night. And hopefully one of these days I'll be able to meet you in person. How about that?
No doubt, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.